y'all. Welcome back to Untacked Podcast. My name is Melanie.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Yvette.
And I'm Mariko.
And
And
this
this
is
is
Untacked. Woo!
Man, we are back home in our regular podcast room. This is like sleeping in my bed at night. I feel so good in here. I feel like we're back onto like a regular cadence when we're back in here. I just love this home.
I agree. I can't agree more.
So what do we do right now? What's this part
fun.
right now?
I do this every time. Every single time.
I wonder what's
Everyone's
supposed to be
like,
happening
"So,
right now.
We're going to take everyone for a hot lap." Go ahead, Savannah. Start us off.
By the time you guys see this, it'll already be over. So let's just go with, we're throwing my grandma a surprise 75th birthday party. And I'm super excited because it's like Western Fiesta themed. So I'm pretty excited.
All right, Mariko, take us for a hot lap.
Well, last weekend I had a great time. I found myself in my trailer, my actual like camping trailer, and we went for a little vacation up to Solvang. So
lovely.
we camped out at Flying Flags Resort in Buellton, and we got to swim around. We've got some friends out there that own a bakery called Burkholm's Bakery. And it's a really famous bakery out there. And so it's been a generational thing. We actually got to listen to him be on a podcast over the weekend. So he was a special guest on someone else's podcast. So it was cool to like sit down and listen to the whole campground. Like we probably had like 20 people listening to him on a podcast. So it was really cool to hear that. Yeah.
I think it's really cool that you did that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Go for it, Mel. Let's hear it.
My hot lap today is that over the weekend we do an annual family trip somewhere. So this year we chose Knott's. So the whole family gets together and we went to Knott's Berry Farm. And although the lines were really long, we went on a bunch of rides and I got to spend time with my little sisters. And it was just good to be with family and enjoy that time.
Who got the most wet on the Rapids ride? Because I saw you guys were on that.
Yes. I would probably say one of like my cousins. I mean, I was somewhere on the top 5 list. I mean, that ride, you can't avoid it. So, but everyone had fun and all of us, it was a nice refresher for the day. I'll say that.
Well, I have actually 2 little things I want to talk about. My first one is that my husband got me a living quarters horse trailer.
Ooh.
So I'm really excited because we're going to be going to Bryce Canyon in Utah. And we're taking like a little horse camping trip. So we got it. And so I'm pretty stoked. It's pretty cool. Moving on up like the Jeffersons. My second one is this bitch be looking like somewhere between Barney and Ursula.
We had my neighbor's pool explode. And it was a water rapid in our backyard and destroyed some hay. So, yeah. So today we are talking about horse breeds. And we're talking about how horse breeds have shaped their place into American culture or just culture in general. So we're going to start in our usual fashion and head on over to Mel to take us through her horse breed.
Thank you. So today I chose specifically the paint horse breed. As I own one myself, I've owned a few. So the paint horse, or paint in general, is a breed known for its color coat pattern. So not only is it a color, but it's a breed now. But it started with the horses that carry color and quality. So it began with the Spanish explorers bringing these horses to the Americas in the 1500s. The colorful horses were loved so much by the Native American tribes, like the Comanche, who prized them for not only their beauty, but their strength and agility, which is how they get their quality. Over time, the spotted horses were bred with quarter horses, which gave the fast and muscular genes, and TBs, which are thoroughbreds, that are tall and athletic. Wow. So they mixed 4 good traits of horses and made them into one. So over time, these spotted horses were bred with, the good traits. In the 1960s, people loved them so much for their colored coats that they wanted to protect and then promote them. So that's when APHA was created in 1965, which is the American Paint Horse Association.
That is super cool.
You know, funny is that I did not know until like not that long ago that paints and quarter horses were not
Same
the
thing.
same.
Yeah.
Quarter horses can be painted,
Mhm.
but there's a paint association, which can be paint, quarter, thoroughbred bloodlines, but they have to meet the color requirements. From the hoof to the knee area is a sock, and if that's white and you have 4 of those, if it goes higher than the knee, I want to say it classifies as a spot to qualify for paint papers. There's 2 types of paints. There's Tobiano and then there's Overo. You can think of is over the wither. So if there's a paint splatter, then that's and it's like side by side the view, and then there's looks like there's paint dripping from the top.
So interestingly enough, someone had said that they thought Luna might have Overo inside of her because she has those 4 socks and then she has the black polka dots on her socks.
Yes.
So she could be paint bred.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It is really cool, for sure.
Good choice and breed.
Awesome. Okay, so thank you. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
The only thing I'd like to add is that I chose paint also because not only do I have one, but I feel they're even more special because you can't get 2 of the same horse.
That is
Yes.
true.
So true.
That's so true. Yes.
So they're all unique.
I love that. Okay, Savannah. So I believe you have a really interesting one to talk about.
Today, I'm going to go way off the beaten track. We're going to do some Mongolian horses.
Ooh.
You know how they say Ford built tough? Well, Mongolian horses make Fords look like scooters. They're short. They're about 12 to 14 hands, but don't let their size fool you. They're stocky, muscular, and insanely durable. They can survive harsh winters, travel long distances with minimal feed, and they're basically riding into history for 4,000 years.
Wow.
They're wild, yet loyal. Mongolian horses are semi-wild. Even today, they graze freely across the open land and only come to their humans when it's time to ride. Most of them aren't named or cuddled like Western horses. They're respected, not babied. Every year in Mongolia, the Nadam festival celebrates the 3 games of men: wrestling, archery, and horse races. They stretch over 10 to 30 kilometers through open steppe, and there are hundreds of horses. It's not just a sport, it's a tradition, heritage, and identity. Mongolian herders don't use fancy tack either. They use wooden saddles, and their rides are bare-boned and raw. They just go
Ouch.
for it.
Ouch.
But these horses know where they're going. Very sure-footed, intuitive, and they have a very homing instinct. And if you let one go, it'll always find its way home.
Aww. I
love that.
I actually really like that because,
Majestic.
like, that's literally showing like that's your
Yeah.
like that's your best friend. They'll do it because they want to do it, not because they're
Right.
forced to.
Yeah. So I usually bring the bold, unapologetic spice, Mexican spice to everything that I do. Whether it's charro history or rodeo realness, you know I keep it culturally rich.
You do.
But today, I'm throwing you for a loop.
Dun dun
Dun, dun.
dun.
Small but mighty, we are talking ponies.
Pause. You don't even own a pony.
I don't. Small but mighty, who changed history and would definitely win in a bar fight.
Yes.
They would. They're mean.
They're scary.
So buckle up because these underdogs are about to steal the show. You think they're just for kids? No, ma'am. These little legends have been out here pulling coal? Yeah,
Pulling carts.
pulling coal.
Coal.
Carts of coal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Castles carrying legends on their backs since before you learned how to post a trot. These short kings and queens that I'm going to be talking about
Lord Farquaad.
in the equestrian world is the original Celtic influence, Welsh ponies. They were galloping into battle before you figured out how to ride without gripping the reins for dear life. They are athletic, elegant, and always photogenic. I would identify as a Welsh pony.
Except you're tall.
This is true.
She's a pony on stilts.
So then my second one would be the Shetland ponies. Actually, I have a friend that has one. I don't know if you guys know who she is. She's the Chaotic Equestrian.
Yes.
Kayla just got a new little pony. His name is Joe Exotic. That's what it is.
That is adorable.
Yes, and he has a best friend, Stan. He's so cute, and she's actually even teaching him how to use the cart.
The man named Stan.
The man named Stan, and I love Stan. Stan loves treats. He loves his auntie. So yeah, shout out to the Chaotic Equestrian, Stan the man, and Joe Exotic.
Tally freaking O.
Yeah. So I didn't want to bombard you with so much of ponies because there's a bunch of them, but they're actually pretty cool and they're really strong.
They are.
There was a time where I was a horse groomer and I came across this client that I only went to one time. And he walked me out to his backyard and he said, I have a pony for you. This little white Shetland pony. And he said, yeah, you know, she's pretty good and I think she's going to be fine for you to bathe. And that little thing made me work the hardest I ever worked for $25. So he knew exactly what was happening because that little little pony.
So, Mariko, you've heard everything that we've had to say. Can you tell us what breed you picked today?
Yes. I'm going to let you guys guess. Okay. Let it go. Let it go. Anna rides a fjord. And so the fjord I thought would be a really fun one because I have a daughter who is 4 years old and we love watching Frozen. And so the fjord is a big old stocky horse that is actually pretty short. So they're like short, but like super stocky. And so when I started to go back and look at their history and their background, it became more and more interesting, similar to the story of the Mongolian breeds or horses. So they date back to like 4,000 years ago. These were like your ancient war horses. And so they're one of the oldest, purest breeds in the world. And they date back, again, 4,000 years. The Vikings were using them for warfare. Cool. And so used also extensively in farming. So it's kind of like a draft. Like they're super big, they're stocky, but they are also between 13 to 14 hands. So their looks, what I thought was interesting is you go down the line in terms of like what a fjord looks like, and their manes, for anyone that hasn't seen a fjord, their manes look like they're two different colors. So they're white or light on the outside, and then they're black on the inside. So a lot of the times people, what they do, it's very common for them to roach the manes. So it looks like a mohawk going down, and it's white hair on the outside and black hair on the inside.
I've seen that. I didn't know that they were fjords.
Yes, those are fjords. And so, cool. Yeah. And then they have, these horses are known for being like the eyeliner horses because they have a line. They're all done. They look like they're dun colored. So it might come in like red dun, like a cream. And so they have a black line, like a dun, going all the way down their back. And then the very purest bred fjords will have tiger stripes around their legs.
Yes.
That's cool.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. They're really known for being super friendly. They're labeled the golden retriever of horses. So I think that's super cool because like you think about them being like the original kind of like pony where they're not like the crazy Shetland ponies that are scary. These are like the ponies you put your kids on.
Yeah.
Do you know what the dun stripe from their back down to their butt is called?
I don't.
It's called a dorsal stripe.
Actually, you know what? I do have that in here. But thank you for bringing that up. It is called a dorsal stripe.
Mel's fun facts.
I know, Mel's fun fact. And fun fact, they're all dun colored. Oh. So, again, their personality is golden retrievers. They're 4 kids.
I like it.
Super cute. But then also their personalities, because they're so welcoming, they're so playful, they're super sure-footed. So they're very reliable. They said even though they're between 13 to 14 hands, they could carry a 300-pound man up a steep mountain.
Damn. Yeah.
Because they are the original like mountain bred horses. So because they're I know. Because they're sure-footed, so you know when they're on trail.
I won't put that in there.
he would ride one too though. All right, let's cinch this up.
Thank you guys so much for watching our 19th episode of Untacked Podcast.
Sheesh.
Make sure to give us a like, comment, and subscribe.
Make sure to tune in every Monday. Give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And stay tuned because we got some exciting things coming.
Make sure you keep it classy, sassy, a little badassy, and make sure to always clean your tack.
If you want.